stunning riot.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for October 27th, 2025. My name is Bernie Burns, sitting right over there, coming to PlayStation in 2026. It's Ashley Burns. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
I'm multi-platform now.
We have to talk about some stuff before we talk about Halo, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a big Halo announcement on Friday, but we'll get to that in just 1 second.
It was a big weekend in general. There was
It
all
was
the
crazy
all the
weekend.
sports stuff that was happening. You got the World Series. Hold on, let me explain the World Series to you. So the Blue Jays from Toronto, they won the first game in the World Series handily, and then there was another game that they played because they played. Do they play every day? Yes, they play every day, except maybe with some breaks in between.
They
some
go
days.
back and forth. When they go to Toronto, they have to travel. You asked this before, too. We had a discussion about this sponsor chat this weekend, and you were definitely curious about the travel days.
Well, it's like, the thing is, I don't know about you, but like travel throws me off. Right. And so it's like, I'm not going to like want to land, get off the plane and go straight into a game. Like, do you go straight into like warm-ups, or do you have to like, you take a little breather, you spend the night, you like hang out and then play the next day. But that's going to also stretch out the World Series.
Speaking of which, we have a weird thing this week where we have had the fall time change here in the UK for daylight savings time. In America, you guys haven't had it yet until like this. Is it this weekend?
It's next weekend for the U.S.
Next weekend? This is coming weekend.
Yeah, it's this coming weekend, the weekend that has not just left us, but the weekend that we're looking at now.
So we're asking for a little bit of grace this week on release times. I'm
Yes.
kind of curious when people start to listen to the show, like because when we put it out at 6 a.m. Austin time, some comments are there, but then really about 9 o'clock Austin time, that's when the comments really start to come in.
Yeah, so we'll do our best this week, but please, let's all get through this week together. No one likes the daylight savings time
We're only
shift.
5 hours ahead, for God's sake. Gotta live our lives.
So back to the World Series. A weird thing happened, and it was weird enough that even I heard about it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And that is that the World Series has introduced a halftime show.
So, in the fifth inning of Game 2, after the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Dodgers, I think it was like 11-3. They handily beat them in the
Big
first game.
score gap.
Handily beat them. They were tied 1-1. Then all of a sudden, Major League Baseball decided, you know what the World Series really needs is a Jonas Brothers concert. An unannounced, impromptu Jonas Brothers concert.
Let's bring out the Jonas Brothers. And then, and here's the thing, right? And then the Blue Jays lost.
So
right?
Baseball loves lore, and it loves curses. So up until that point, the Blue Jays were not losing the World Series, right? So if they lose now 4 straight, because the Dodgers ended up winning Game 2, now if they lose the next 3, this is going to be the curse of the Jonas Brothers. Because up until that point, they were winning the World Series, the Blue Jays.
I mean, I kind of get it. I do, because sports has a rhythm to it, right? And there's some things like American football where the halftime show is like a built-in expectation. It's built into the rhythm of the game at this point. But baseball doesn't have that. They don't normally do a Jonas Brothers concert in the middle of the 5th inning.
You are correct. They do not normally do that.
So I could see how that would like throw off the rhythm of the game. So I do get it. But I guess it was weird that they did it at all, but I found out why it was the Jonas Brothers, because that doesn't seem like the band that you would normally get for the baseball guys. Be like, were they trying to get like the millennial lady audience into the World Series? Like,
right.
What is that? Like, get them in and then they'll be spending for a generation?
Well, it's just potential, Ashley, right? It's like, what's their unrealized audience? They already have teenage girls. Why don't you go for angry middle-aged dudes who have a weird obsession with math and statistics, right? That's what we're kind of weak in that demo. Maybe if we interrupt their most important event of the year, they'll be happy with us.
So what happened is that they did their annual like stand up to cancer awareness moment at that moment, like in the inning.
Baseball did that.
Baseball did that. The World Series did that. This is a thing that they do annually. And it turns out the Jonas Brothers are ambassadors for that charity. And so they came out to like do the show for the charity.
I only have more questions, Ashley. that didn't help at all.
Also, I'm sure like they had a new album out this year, apparently. So I guess they were promoting that to all of the baseball fans.
You know what this reminds me of?
We're going to go buy the album. What?
This is like the physical world equivalent of when Apple like snuck that YouTube album onto everyone's iPods.
I remember
You remember when
that.
they did that?
I remember. And like you couldn't even uninstall it.
Was that true? You couldn't uninstall it?
It was like impossible to get rid of.
I remember you didn't have to download it. They just like, hey, this is a
It
feature.
just showed up one day like, congratulations.
I'm sure some executive was like, after they were doing the postmortem on that project, was sitting at the end of the conversation with their head in their hands going, what? We gave them a free album. Why are people furious?
we gave everyone in the world free YouTube. Why are people mad?
Same thing here. It's like, we gave people a free concert and they're mad about it?
Do you think, did you two ever live that down?
There was a lot of stuff I don't think they lived down from that era. They kind of stepped in a couple different times. But no, I think people bring that up all the time. I can't even tell what year it was. And it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah. It's like we will always remember that moment in time.
So what is this? What were they promoting? They had a new album. What song did they play?
Yeah, they came out and played some song called "I Can't Lose" from their 2025 album "Greetings from Your Hometown."
Shall I play a clip of this so we can hear the song?
Our own Jonas Brothers concert.
I curse the Blue Jays. Okay, here we go. So now Spotify has started to get antsy about playing music on their music playing platform. So I'm going to play as much of this as I think I can get away with.
All right, let's go.
Here is I Can't Lose by the Jonas Brothers. There you go. That's all I can play. I don't really get it. It's like it feels like a little bit like a here. I'll put it back on so you can hear it. Almost like a
Kind of a bop.
yeah, kind of like Stadium Rock a little bit, you know.
Well, Stadium Rock is
Kind of muted version of that.
Stadium Rock's a really specific genre of music, I feel. It has to have like a very specific big beat, and it has to be of a speed that a bunch of like middle-aged like white people can clap to a rhythm above their head and like get their arms down and back up in time and actually like do it in rhythm reliably. That's like a very specific ask.
It's not all white people, Ashley. I did see a funny thing where somebody said that in 20 years, a bunch of Mexican guys are going to have to explain why their name's Shohei Rodriguez. yeah, that's absolutely going to happen.
No, but everyone else does, I feel like, have a little bit of a leg up when it comes to rhythm.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, so another sports news really quickly. I can't believe his name didn't come up when we were talking about like individual performances in sport. I'm talking about Cam Skatebo.
Oh, that's the kid who he was playing university football and he played almost like a single-handed game against UT, right?
Yeah, they didn't win the game. The Sun Devils didn't win against the Longhorns. But man, if you listen to that podcast back then, we kept talking about this guy. I got so sick of hearing his name because he was so damn good. And I was really disappointed to see that this week, Jonas Brothers, get out of here. Stop interrupting sports. I saw that he was drafted by the Giants and he had an injury this weekend. I'm going to warn you. Are you clicking on the link? You've already clicked on the link.
Yeah, no, I'm reading it. So Giants rookie running back Cam Skatebo will have surgery after dislocating right ankle. You can dislocate your ankle versus the Eagles. And, oh
Warning,
my
there's
God.
a picture. Did you see the picture?
Yeah,
There's a picture in that article.
It's right at the top of the article of his foot is just hanging off his like in the wrong direction.
It is.
It's like pointed backwards. They're not supposed to do that.
Wrong direction. I want to play One Direction. Keep our boy band in sports going. But yeah, it's one of those sports replays that you don't ever want to see again. Like it's one of those things they play over and over again and show you these horrific. So he left the field in an air cast, and we hope he'll get better. And sorry to Giants fans, they had already all fallen in love with Skatebo. And unfortunately, he had this really bad injury. So hopefully he can recover quickly.
Yeah, no, that's awful. You know what? And when your skeleton like betrays you like that, that's a big deal. Without the skeleton doing its job and keeping everything like facing the right direction and in the right spot, I mean,
Can you
just
blame
like a
the
soggy bag of meat?
skeleton though for the ankle? Because that's where the gap in the skeleton comes from.
Well, clearly it's a weak point, and I think we should address it in our next revision.
I read a funny like motivational thing one time, which is like if you're not feeling very confident and you don't feel like you can get something done, just remember that deep inside of you is a spooky skeleton.
You're your own spooky skeleton. Go forth and haunt.
So can I talk about college football really quickly, since we've kind of hinted at it with
Sure, go ahead.
Skatebo? So the AP Top 25 is out, and right now it's looking like they're starting to make predictions as to who is going to make it into the college football playoffs. The big one at the top, basically everyone who's going to get a bye, supposedly right now, is Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. And all that's going to change because there's a lot of, rivalry games they hold till later in the season, but they're already starting to predict who is going to make it into the college football playoff bracket. So
I have a question about this because UT is on there and UT is doing well.
UT is not in the predictions yet, but it is in the top 25.
Okay. But you said they've been playing terribly.
Well, the weird thing is, this is like, they do. They have played terribly, but they've managed to win terrible games somehow. If it wasn't for the loss to Florida, then the only loss that Texas would have is to Ohio State, who is the current number one. This is college football talk. You have to talk about who beat who on what day and when the sun was shining and all that stuff. That's what I used to love about college football.
If the Jonas Brothers were there.
Exactly. If the Jonas Brothers didn't interrupt suddenly in the middle of the third quarter, what would have happened? Get out of here, Jonas Brothers. Yeah, so that would be weird. So now if Texas had not lost to Florida, who was unranked, then our only loss would be to Ohio State, even though we're barely beating teams like Mississippi State.
They're playing terribly, but winning?
Yeah, like we should not have won this last game this last weekend. Even the people who like college football forums who are really brutal were like, how the fuck did this happen? It's
right.
like Texas, it was one of those games I should have turned off. I was actually just watching on ESPN. I was watching that little map of the ball going back and forth because I was too cheap to pay for the game. I actually don't mind that. It's kind of like watching like an RTS version of a football game,
right? Or it's like the 8-bit version, right? All you see is like where the ball is.
Did you ever see the thing when you were a kid? Like there was like a table, almost like an air hockey table, but it would just vibrate. And they had little players on it, and they would move across it. It was even before my time, but they still existed.
No, I mean I've seen the one where where the guys you have them, they flip and they kick the ball and they flip and they flip and they flip. Foosball. I've seen foosball.
Or as it's called in Europe, foosball. All right, you wanted to talk about The Gentleman before I talk about Halo. What's going on in The Gentleman cinematic universe?
Well, for me, the big headline is The Gentleman Season 2 has wrapped filming, and I'm excited about it because I really liked the first season. It was kind of weird because it's not the movie The Gentleman, but it is Guy Ritchie was still involved in making the series, which has a very similar storyline to the movie of The Gentleman, but with completely different cast. It's just the same concept of like weed growing under rich people's houses,
right,
and criminal element involved. And so I really liked what they did with the first season. They took a lot of situations, they put people into like ridiculous scenarios and then like wrung them out for all the ridiculousness they could possibly get. Also, I really liked the cast. I thought they were all just like mesmerizing. And so season 2's wrapped filming, and I'm excited about that because season 1 was in 2024. And in this new normal of ours, with this wrapping of filming, this means we're going to get our second season in 2026, which is only a 2-year gap.
Just a 2-year gap.
We're going to fill the gap with Jonas Brothers.
Right. They'll be there to play us off whenever we want.
I'm excited about it because like I liked it and I want more of it. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I like Guy Ritchie in general. I've been dealing with a weird thing where I have been trying to find some DVDs, and it's kind of shocking what movies are difficult to find on Blu-ray. And Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which was his first movie.
Was that his first one?
Yeah, and it's been really hard to try to find it. Man, it feels like a first movie. You go back and watch it too. Like the slow-mo stuff that's in it, he does like really high-speed slow-mo stuff, but you need a lot of light to do that. You can really tell when he switches into slow-mo because the light drops way down.
No. That was just the cloud cover in England.
But I went and looked it up on IMDb because I was trying to find this thing. I was trying to find a Blu-ray copy of this. It was less than like $25. Finally found my solution for it. But Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is in the top 150 movies all time.
What, really?
On IMDb.
That's amazing.
To come right out of the gate and your first movie ends up in the top 150 movies.
No, filmography, 1998, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
But also Lock, Stock was what added Vinnie Jones and Jason Statham to our daily vocabulary.
I love it because one of Vinnie Jones is one of Guy Ritchie's like regular actors. Like if there's a Guy Ritchie project, Vinnie Jones is probably in it. But my favorite thing about Vinnie Jones is, have you seen the musical he's in?
What? Oh, I think you talked about this once before.
I keep trying to get you to watch Gallivant.
Oh, right.
Not because you'd enjoy it. I don't think you'd enjoy it at all, but because I love it so much.
No.
Vinnie Jones is in it, and he plays this, like rough and tough, like bodyguard, but it's a full musical, and he's singing, and he's dancing, and it's awesome.
Did it work?
Oh, he's great.
Well, good. It just goes to show. Maybe sometimes if you go outside, break the mold a little bit, it can work.
Yeah, you can.
Good segue to Friday. It was announced that Halo Studios is putting out Halo Campaign Evolved, which is notable for a lot of reasons.
But the big one
is that it'll be the first ever Halo game to be on the PlayStation, which is a huge announcement. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. I feel like everybody was ready for this. Like somebody deserves a gold star somewhere for preparing everybody for this announcement, because this is the kind of thing that I would expect that would light the video game world on fire, like the discourse world about it. But I think it's actually had the opposite effect. Instead of being like this incendiary moment, everyone's really happy about it. Now, I shouldn't say everybody. There's never an everybody.
Well, I feel like there's been rumors that this was going to be announced for kind of a long time now, really since Microsoft started putting more of their games on PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like Halo, Halo's got to be coming up. But then there was also speculation, like, would they do that for their like main flagship franchise? Like Sea of Thieves, okay, sure, whatever. But Halo, are you going to do it for Halo? But the speculation was that like it was coming, right? So it's an announcement, but it's not a huge surprise.
I thought
not a huge surprise.
Sea of Thieves, when they did it, was like that was looking towards the future, right? And that was Rare. They had acquired that studio. It was a big release for them. And when they put it on PlayStation, that to me was an indication that maybe at that point, something like Halo could make its way to the PlayStation.
Okay.
So it's going to release on the PlayStation 2026, in addition, of course, to the Xbox. It'll be cross-play, so you can play across the different platforms.
You can, but it's not PvP, right? Like they're not releasing like the PvP multiplayer. They're doing co-op multiplayer, but not PvP multiplayer.
It's interesting. I never really think of co-op as being multiplayer, but you're right. Yeah. So no, it will not. So they're being really clear with the name that it is Campaign Evolved. It's the original Halo, Halo 1, Halo Combat Evolved. It is the campaign for that is now updated. They're moving from the Slip Space engine to Unreal. It looks gorgeous. As someone put it that I was talking to, we were playing Sea of Thieves this weekend, saying it looks exactly as I remembered that it looked, which is the
highest
best
compliment you can give to a remake. Right?
It really is, because you don't realize, like, when you go back and play, like, I played this all the time, but you get lost in the imagination of the world.
And like at the time, I thought this was the most realistic video games could ever get.
Yeah, I think it was the Penny Arcade guys who really put voice to that sentiment. It was a Nintendo release of Punch-Out, and they were saying it doesn't play like Punch-Out played. It played like I remember it played. For instance, one of the big things about Halo that's kind of a hurdle for a lot of people that never played it before is you couldn't even sprint in the game, the original game. So to a lot of people who went back to play it years later, because they had people who loved Halo, they're like, you got to play this game. They're like, I can't run in this, like it's in a shooter. And it felt so now there's sprint, but then also they've added for people apparently who are the purists, you can turn off sprint as well. So you can keep the core experience. And they're putting in stuff like, if you've ever played Halo, like you couldn't have a sword in the original Halo, but the elites would drop them on the ground. I actually integrated something like that into Red vs. Blue. Red vs. Blue is not about Halo, but there's a lot of stuff inspired by it. Like Tucker, no one else can use a sword but him, right? And it was like you would see these swords on the ground. You're like, one day I'll be able to use that sword. Sure enough, Halo 2 came along and you could. But yeah, but it's interesting too about the no multiplayer. There is speculation that there could be a standalone thing. I don't know anything about this kind of thing. I should say that right off the bat. There's speculation there could be some kind of standalone gaming service that is for Halo multiplayer. That would completely make sense, as they're kind of retooling the delivery of the franchise.
Almost like they start releasing single player games and then like a multiplayer living, evolving games as a service.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like this thing going to PlayStation, this project makes a lot of sense combined with that. Like individually, either one of those things would make less sense without each other. Does that make sense?
No, it does, because it makes sense to put the campaign specifically because this is the first time that PlayStation players, who've never had an Xbox, are going to have access to the world of Halo, and it makes sense to do that starting at the beginning with the first campaign.
And also, you think about too, like you have friends who play on PlayStation. It gives a chance for like all the diehard Halo fans to be evangelists and like guides through multiplayer
man,
co-op.
you guys just wait. You don't even know what's coming.
Right, or you're like literally can play co-op and like guide them through the process as well, like storming the beach at Silent Cartographer and things like that.
The best part about it is at the end of like the third level, there's a Jonas Brothers concert.
Well, that's just part of the modern entertainment environment now, Ashley. You got to have the Jonas Brothers in there. There was a lot of voice cameos. Remember in Halo 2, there was a ton of voice cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
David Cross.
What?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Wait, really?
Nathan Philly. Philly
He
might
was
have been
ODST, I think.
ODST. Yeah. He might have been one of the Marines in Halo 2, though, I think. Yeah, but so Halo ODST was the only other game that didn't launch with, as you put it, PvP multiplayer. They did have Firefight in that, but it always felt like kind of like it was during the era when Horde mode was a big deal.
Right. That was when it was Gears the first one that did Horde mode, and then suddenly like everyone had a Horde mode.
I think it's like the Battle Royale.
Of like that era.
Yeah, it's like Gears was the one that popularized it for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm certain there was probably some game that had a bunch of enemies come at you and you just
in
have to
waves, and you just survive the waves.
Yeah, but and Halo ODST is a weird one. I just learned about this reading about it. I don't know how I missed this. I knew that Halo ODST was announced as an expansion for Halo 3 and then later expanded to be a full game. But now they're saying that one of the reasons for that was because of the canceled Peter Jackson movie, which had a tie-in game. So the team that was working on that when it was canceled then moved over and then expanded Halo ODST into its own game.
Okay, all right, interesting.
But anyway, and then while we're walking through the history of Halo, I mean, if you compare this announcement to the announcement and the gameplay demonstration of Halo Infinite, which was the last big tentpole for Halo, I mean, at this point, a couple days in, we already had all the memes for, remember Craig the Brute and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reception for this is, I mean, it is worlds apart from the last couple of announcements that have been made for Halo, which is fantastic. And if anyone has any kind of like heartburn about Halo going to PlayStation, I get it. I'm excited about it. The other thing about it too is you got to look at this as an incredible thing for the Halo franchise, because if a ton of players show up, you're going to have all the Xbox people that are going to play it for nostalgia's sake. It's 25 years old. Everyone has aged. It's hard to believe that game was played 25 years ago. And then you have all the new players who've been waiting to play it all this time. If this game comes out and it's gangbusters, it's just going to blow open the doors for Halo going forward, which I think everybody wants.
Everyone wants it to do well,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's nice that like a whole new group of people can be excited about it too.
You know what the weird thing is about the multiplayer too?
What?
It's sound weird. Halo, which you heavily associate as a multiplayer franchise, really the first Halo didn't have multiplayer. It did, but it was all land-based, right?
It was
there
like
was no
local.
Xbox Live.
That was like the era during which you would like cart your Xbox and your TV over to your friend's house and then like make a mess of network cables and try to make sure that everyone is plugged into a different breaker.
Right.
So that you don't like,
Right.
so you don't take down the power for the whole house. And like, that was like a thing. And that's something that you'll never be able to replicate. But hopefully you get the magic of the campaign.
Yeah, and then you would take those moments and yell back and forth between the rooms, and then you would make
be
a
like,
20-year web series.
Hey, Jonas Brothers, shut up.
But so it is kind of interesting that we think of Halo as being heavily multiplayer, but Xbox, it launched with the original Xbox, and Xbox Live did not launch with it. That being said, they're updating everything. I think there's an expectation, and I have that expectation there will be something multiplayer coming. I hope so.
You know what's going to be really weird? What's going to be really weird is like you're playing the game and you look down and there's a PlayStation controller in your hands.
That's a little weird.
And they're like, press square to reload.
Yeah, that'll be weird. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. That'll be really interesting. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think a lot of people are, and I think one of the undercurrents here is what is the speculation is like, what does this mean for Xbox as a platform? I wanted to talk about this last week, and this is really a relevant time to talk about it now, is, You know, Shohei Yoshida, the former president of Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Yep.
I think all the way to like 2019, he was the president.
And then I think he went and ran indies for a while until he retired.
None of these things happen in a vacuum, right? I was really interesting this week when he said like he can no longer tell the difference for new upgrades in graphics technology, which I get because I feel like I've been there for a while too. But that is a discussion about hardware. Like, are we kind of topping out on hardware anyway? Like, what is left to do there?
Well, I do feel like we're at a bit of a plateau in terms of overall graphics processing. So it's the experiences that are going to need to change in some way, right? I don't know what that's going to look like, but there will be something that comes along that changes the way people experience and interact with games. And that's going to have some big effect. It's also interesting to me that that Xbox, someone from Xbox recently said, I'll find this article and put it in the link dump, but they said that they're not just they don't see themselves as competing with like PlayStation and Nintendo these days, like the way that we did have console wars in the past. They're competing for any attention at all. They're competing with like TikTok, right? Because it's just like there's only so much attention to go around. It's not a given that someone is going to have a console at all. So they're competing with everything that's out there for any of your time.
Is it also fair to say, like, I can't help but think too that the big winners always in the video game industry were the people who were big enough to have their own hardware that went along with their games? I don't really know that that's the case anymore. Like, what would you say, just off the top of your head, looking forward to 2026? What is going to be the biggest gaming story in 2026?
GTA.
GTA 6, probably, right? And everyone's like, even like, there's speculation that even the Marvel movies are moving out of the way. Avengers movies are getting away from the release of GTA 6.
My God.
Once it goes back to what you just said, it's like, it's not just what else is showing in a cinema. You know, it's TikTok and GTA 6. And
it's all of the time that you have.
Yeah, it's just how much time do you have in the day for this kind of thing? And it's like, you know, Rockstar doesn't sit around worrying about what the hardware division is doing. They're just like, let us know, you know, and
they're like, if you build it, we will come.
Yeah, we'll show up with the money bags, you know, back the Brinks truck up, you know, whenever you guys are ready.
And then we're going to rob it.
Right. We'll hijack it, drive to a garage. It's the perfect crime. Your Louvre guys, by the way, they've made some arrests.
I know. Two Louvre guys have been caught. Let's see what happens. I wonder if they were caught because of that, not the footage of them coming down in the scissor lift in their high vis vests. Like what was it? How did they catch them?
You shouldn't have worn that crown out in public.
It's like, did they wear a crown through the airport? Like, what was it?
It's like the end of the second act of Goodfellas. It's like, gotta lay low, fellas, gotta lay low.
So we'll see if they find the other two.
All right, Ashley, who do we have to thank for cross-playing with us today?
All right, big thanks to Triceratops and Kendall Mayer for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere and roosterteeth.com.
All right, well, that does it for us today, October 27th, 2025. We will be back to talk to you tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.